lunch, and we pulled into this restaurant, and we sat down, and they asked us what we wanted for breakfast, and Mom said, well, we want lunch, and they said, well, it's only 7 o'clock in the morning or something like that, because she woke us up at 2 a.m.
to get on the road.
To get on the road.
And she wanted to get on her way.
That's right, Kath. I remember that. Yeah. And then you all fell asleep in the car when I got you back in the car. You were so tired. Yeah.
Hey, Ben, do you have a story you want to mention?
There's Ben.
Yeah,
there he is.
I'm right up here, top middle, I think. That's where I am on my screen. Yeah, I remember the week that I went down there with two of my friends from high school, two of me and Matt's friends, Bo and Will, and we all packed ourselves into that trailer, that small little trailer. But we could fit, and Grandma was really accommodating for 4 teenage kids who probably didn't make it easy on her. So
You were so noisy, you guys.
Yeah, they want you so quiet at that campground, you can't even breathe, and they get upset.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Oh my.
Anybody else want to tell a story? I've got one. Lots of times when I'm with friends, I'll say, hey, what was your first concert? And everybody goes around, and my first concert was Cat Stevens, and it was at William and Mary in Williamsburg. It was on a weeknight for some reason, and it went late. So I went to this concert. Mom let me go. It was fine for her to go. I went with a couple of friends, got home about 1 o'clock in the morning, real tired, school night. I climb into my bed, and there's a hot water bottle in my bed, keeping my bed nice and warm. And I'm like, wow, this is so nice. So I always thought that was a little special something I always remember from that first concert.
Oh, thank you.
I have the same story.
Oh yeah?
It's just a little different.
A hot water bottle?
No, I was in high school, and I was out with my buddies in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Got home a little after midnight or so, and was hungry, but didn't want to make a big mess. And so just managed to get up to my room and turn off the lights, put on pajamas, all tucked into bed, and there's a knock on the door. And Mom walks in with a BLT. Which was just like the most perfect thing.
Yeah.
It was like I couldn't imagine anything better. Just a hot bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
At the right time.
12:30 in the morning. So
I
yeah.
tried awfully hard. Yeah.
Matt, how about you, Matt Peel? Do you have a story to tell?
There's Matt Peel.
Right there.
Sorry, I lost something new because I was getting a glass of water. But yeah, I do. So, first thing that came to my mind was me and Grandma spent like a week together, or a couple. I don't know if it was a week or a week and a half, like a couple years ago, and it was cool. It was like the first time I think I've spent that much time with Grandma, like just us two, and without like the whole family. So we really got a chance to talk. We talked about everything, like from politics to just like life, and we listened to folk music, and we watched interviews with Grandpa and her, and it was a really fun week, and I'll always remember it.
That's a good story.
That's a great story.
Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
Zoe, anything you want to say?
Who's next? Zoe?
Sure,
Where's Zoe?
I can go. I have a couple kind of small ones. I remember my friend Kendra and I came down to Florida one year, and Grandma I think made the mac and cheese. Had like a can of tomato soup with the mac and cheese, and you put it in the oven and you cook it. And then I have another memory that just popped up where Ben and I made marshmallows with Grandma.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Rice Krispie treats, not marshmallows.
Krispy treat.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
Marshmallows for the Rice Krispie treats.
Oh, thank you, Zoe. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah.
Chris, anything you want to throw in?
Yeah, the memory that always kind of pops up about Sanibel and the trailer is my first camping experience with Grandpa.
Oh.
That always comes up, and I think Grandma came out and checked on us, and Grandpa's legs were hanging out of the tent because it was such a small tent, and yeah, it was just like a good foray into the outdoors experience, and I'll always.
That was your first camping trip.
First time I had the night in the tent. Yep.
Yeah, and the raccoons were marching across the patio.
They
And we
were.
were watching from the bedroom window to make sure that you were okay.
How old were you, Chris?
Oh man, I must have been like 7 or
7,
8.
okay.
I think so. Thank you, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alicia, do you have any stories you want to throw in?
Pardon?
Alicia?
Yes. Sorry, I was just unmuting because
Yeah.
he likes to talk.
That's fine.
Oh, sure.
I had a whole bunch of thoughts when I was reading the question because I got to experience a lot of firsts with Grandma. But the one I thought I would share was the first time she got to meet Liam and came to Vancouver, which was just a really cool experience to have a great grandma be here. And we went out for breakfast, and I was trying to eat and take care of him and feeling a little bit discombobulated. And she just so quietly just said, "Let me have him," and then started holding him so I could eat. And it was such a perfect example of the kind of person that Grandma is so thoughtful and quietly kind and just nurturing. I think that, the side of you with nursing and taking care of people for so long, it just came out in that moment of just knowing what was needed, quietly stepped in, let me eat, and I totally enjoyed my food. And so lots of memories, but that was the most, that was the one that came up, and I thought,
Oh, good one, Alicia.
That was a beautiful story.
All right, Alicia's winning so far.
We had a wonderful trip to England when Alicia turned 16. We took her to England and France with us. And then when she turned 21, we took her to New York to see the plays. Yeah.
so many memories.
Yeah.
Matt Holman, do you have anything you want to throw in?
I think the best one I can think of is the trip we took to New York.
Grandpa,
Yeah, with Grandpa and you, me, and Ben. And
Right.
I think back on it now, and I guess I didn't really realize how much stuff we did because we weren't there that long, but you guys really took us to do everything. Like we went to the Empire State Building, Nintendo World, the NBA store. We went to a show, and I guess I just appreciate now how much you guys were able to.
Yeah, it was a fun time. And it was also a sort of a duplicate trip because your grandfather took Mark and Jeff on the same trip at one time.
That's right.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
nice.
That was a trip.
Muna, you want to say anything?
Yeah. So mine was at our wedding when you and Mark started dancing and you walked out and then you just kind of out danced him and everyone just started laughing. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I was all ready for a slow dance, and Mom's cutting up the rug and making me look bad.
That was sweet.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Mom-
What about you, Jeff? I'm sorry.
Mom, do you have a story you want to tell?
Jeff's not.
Is Jeff on the screen?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have Jeff. I'm sorry, Jeff. I thought you were off. Jeff, go ahead and tell a story.
Yeah, maybe a bit upside down, but the memory that came to mind was just our move to Virginia and some of the
Pardon?
just some of the adjustments that you went through for that move.
It was a major adjustment for me. Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought there was a good connection. A couple trips. That's the one that came to mind actually.
Okay. What about
Getting
you,
lost.
Hilda?
Off on the way home from school one day.
Sorry, me?
Yeah, sorry, Hilda. Go ahead.
So I think it was the first Thanksgiving we spent with you in Amarillo, and I was helping you clear the dishes, and I loaded the dishwasher, and then you reloaded it.
That sounds like me. Nothing's ever too perfect for me. Yeah.
Mom, did you want to tell us? Mom, did you want to tell a story?
You sort of caught me off guard. I have so many stories. I wished I'd had a chance to plan a little. Well, let me see.
Grandma, it didn't work out.
What didn't work out?
I tried to help you plan a little, but
Oh, yeah, I thought you were going to arrive at the door. And I said to Kevin, what are we going to do if they come to the door? We'll have to get a room in a motel. We can't have coronavirus in the house. And so I didn't sleep last night because I thought Mark was coming. And Kevin says, I'm not sharing a room with coronavirus. And I said, well, I could sleep in your bedroom, and he could have our, anyway, it was complicated. But I guess what I remember most is, the times that you were all born. It just, it was so terribly special. I remember Kevin, born in Baltimore. I was halfway through my pregnancy. He didn't realize I was pregnant. And I had an appointment with the doctor, and she said, my dear girl, you are halfway through your pregnancy. And Dad had examined me the day before and said, oh, no, you're not pregnant. So it was a bit of a surprise, his coming along. And then Kathy's coming. My goodness, we had a girl that we wanted, and such a delight to us. And gosh, I've written stories about all my life somewhere in the house. I wish I'd had a chance to kind of look through them a bit before telling all of you. I remember walking Ben down the street and him touching every car that we saw.
Yeah.
It seemed to me you were going to be an auto mechanic, Ben, at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember the big pool in your house and you swimming. I remember spending Parents' Day with Chris and Matt at their school. We always came for Parents' Day in Minneapolis, and then stayed to have this wonderful Thanksgiving meal. And I remember the big butler standing at the door. Remember the butler?
Yeah.
Alfred.
Kathy, have you still got that?
No. He's gone.
I really want that.
He's gone. I gave him to a friend's husband.
You gave it to, oh, really? And Chris, and Matt, do you remember sliding down at the lake house on sort of a homemade toboggan?
Oh yeah, of course.
Remember that? Yeah.
I can share another story.
Okay.
I remember the day that Alicia, my mom met Alicia, and I remember walked into your mom's house, Alicia, and
yes.
it was she just ran for you, scooped you up in your arms, and that was it. Just dominated the whole, she just took you away, and it was such.
I think you were about 3 years old at the time, Alicia, wasn't she?
Everyone else just vanished.
Yeah.
And it was just really a precious moment, because I saw in that moment what she must have been like with me also. So just a memory I'll never forget.
Well, Kevin asked me the other day if I ever thought of being a mother. I never really did. It just sort of, a lot of girls, they wish and pray and hope for a child. I never did. You were all happenings, unplanned happenings, and wonderful happenings, really. Yeah. But I guess we were so busy working and trying to eke out a living that I never thought about taking on the responsibility of parenthood. But I want to thank you all, because you've added so much to my life. You really have. I may not have ever wanted to be a mother, but goodness me, I love my 4 children more than anyone could possibly love them. And I love their families as well. And you have added a dimension to my life that I never would have had I not had my children. And such a joy. And, I was telling Kevin, I'm not a person who dwells on stress. I try to live as well as I can, love the people around me. And the one thing I'm really grateful for, besides my family, and I repeat this every day, I wake up every morning and I say to myself, I'm 90 years old. I have a fine mind and a good body, and I can look after myself and not have to depend on anyone. And what greater gift would anyone want when they're 90 years old? And I mean, I have children who love each other, and I know that when I leave this world, you children all better look after each other, or I'll be haunting you from above. Okay? Yeah, this is Kathy, thank you so much
Yeah.
for arranging this.
We
What
only
a
have
night.
we have about 5 minutes left. So if anybody has
I've got a 5-minute story I can tell. I'll give you
Mom,
this.
Mom, I want to know what the secret to living 90 years is.
I never hold a grudge.
Oh, that's a
I
good one.
really don't. I never hold a grudge. I love my friends and I love my family, and I try to make the best of every day I can. And I'm a bit bossy, and I like to have my way. But hopefully, as I've grown older, I've allowed other people to have their way without too much interference. And as I say, I feel stress is such a detriment to a good life that if I have a problem, I try and solve it, but then I move on. I don't dwell on it. And so is that a secret to a happy life? I don't know. I mean, I've had a wonderful life. I really have. We grew up poor, my family and I, and it was in high school before we could ever really afford a home, a small home. But I never worried about things. I thought they'd always work out. Sometimes they didn't work out for the best at the time, but in the end they always did, and I'm always grateful for that. So, yeah.
Well, Mom, thank you for being the matriarch of the family and for loving us all and being such a great mom. I never got a BLT or a hot water bottle, but that's okay. I won't hold that against you. Next time I come to visit, I want both.
In fact, now that
you knew you were my favorite daughter, though, weren't you?
now that I remember, I think when I came home with the hot water bottle, there was a BLT by the side of my bed too.
Right? Of course. Anyway, Mom, I don't know if anyone has a glass, but cheers to 90 years.
Cheers, Mom. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
No, this is the nicest thing that anyone has done for me.
Well, Kathy organized it, so why don't we all give Kathy a little round of applause?
Kathy.
And then everybody else gets a round of applause for participating and showing up on time.
The whole family here.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
that's great.
We should do this more often.
Yeah, this is
For sure, Pia.
You feel nudist phase right now.
And Maggie, it's so nice to meet you.
Yes,
I hope the pregnancy goes well and that you have a healthy baby, both of you.
Do you want to announce the name, you two?
She's gonna be Violet Ray.
Oh,
that's
beautiful.
I love that.
Violets are beautiful little flowers. They come up in the springtime.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to automatically end here in about a
Love
minute.
you.
Okay.
Love you, Mom.
Love you all.
See you later.
Thanks, Kevin. Love you, Mom.
Love you
Good to
guys.
see you, Matt and Chris. And good to see you, Chris.
Everybody.
Keep in touch.
Good to see you, Matt.
Bye, Zoe.
See you, Zoe.
Bye, Jeff and Hilda.
Bye, Jeff and Hilda.
Bye, Alicia.
Bye, Liam.
Bye, Liam.
Bye.
Duncan.
Bye, Duncan.
Matt. Kathy.
Bye, Maggie. Good night, John Boy.
Bye, everyone.
Love you all.
Bye, Mom.
Everybody, Mark.
All right. Love you
Bye.
all.
Love you guys. Aw.
That was good.